Hey guys, Justin here in the brand new 2x2 test tent for another unboxing video. This is going to be another one in the our cheap Amazon Lights Any Good series. This is another small quantum board style light, about 150 watts with a dimmer, Samsung diodes. So let's take a look and see what she can do. As usual, we've got the meters here. We've got the heat meter, the watt meter, the meter, and the par and spectrometer. And that's pretty much it, man. Let's get into it. Let's get the meters out of the way over here. And I have already opened this box. It came from Amazon, but it came in a massive, massive box. It was just taking up too much space, so I already unboxed it out of that. And this is what was inside. So this is not what ships. You actually don't, it's not a grow light, it's an Amazon box, so don't worry about that. It is discreet shipping. But from here, it's pretty easy to open up. Did I bring baby katana? I did not bring baby katana out here. I'm out in the new grow room, so I don't think I need baby katana for this. This is just a little seal. Baby katana can take a break this round. Yeah, I'm doing unboxings here out in the new grow room because I've got all the tents set up now. Oh yeah, this is pretty nice. Sweet. So here's the plant growth lamp user manual. Give you some particulars there. Go ahead and pause if you'd like to read all of that. It does show the spectrum, or the proposed spectrum. We'll check that and see if that matches. It does look like it has a UV peak down there, and maybe some IR. Pretty cool. There's the back side. Warranty terms. It's pretty standard, it looks like, just like most of the warranties that are going around right now, like Mars and Spider Farmer and whatnot. 90 days, all free warranty. So you always get 90 days basically swapped out. 3 years free components, and that's broken down by 3 months to a year. You get free components, but you have to pay one-way freight and repairing fees. And then 1 year to 3 years, you get free components, but you have to pay freight there and back and repairing fees. So, I mean, with all these new warranties that are coming out, I really don't think they're very good, and I want to make sure I state that in every video that has this. I don't like it, and I hope they change it. But luckily, the new LEDs that have been coming out, I haven't had a single burnt diode or a bad driver in years. So the good thing is, you probably won't need the warranty. The bad news is, the warranty kind of sucks if you do. So, it is what it is. It's kind of how things are going right now, it seems, in the cheaper LED world. They're really going downhill with their warranties. And this is just, that's it. So, there we go. And the light itself is heavy. Wow. This thing's heavy. It's got a lot of weight to it for being how small it is. Holy crap. Let's see if I can get it out of the wrapping. Wow. Okay. So this is solid metal. This isn't plastic. This whole thing is metal. Whole thing is metal. What the hell? That's a serious amount of metal. This thing is heavy. This is easily the heaviest grow light of this size that I've reviewed. Easily. By probably double. Not even joking. Look at that, man. It's got metal around the outside, metal in the back. Is that metal too? That might be plastic. That might be plastic. That's definitely metal. The whole back side is metal. I don't want to, well, I guess I can touch the bottom too. Yeah, I was going to say I don't want to touch the bottom, but it has a plastic coating across the entire thing. This thing is like waterproof as fuck. Wow. So there's the sticker. It's IP65 rated, so fairly waterproof. That's interesting, man. The driver is pretty much sealed in there. It is accessible via these screws. It did not say it was a Meanwell driver, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that it is not a Meanwell driver. And with the diodes, it did say that they were Samsung diodes, but it did not say that they were LM301B or H diodes. So that means that they are probably the 281 plus diodes, which is what a lot of the cheaper lights are using right now. But I have no way of really confirming that. Maybe they'll comment on this video here and say if they're using the 281s, but like I said, that's a selling feature. They usually put that in the Amazon description, and it's very prominent when it has LM301Bs, especially LM301Hs. So I do not believe that this has it, but they may correct me in the comments. And then the dimmer, of course, right there. Dimmer's pretty smooth, kind of light feel. It's not as nice and heavy feeling as the Vipar Spectra dimmers, but it'll definitely work. Yeah, this thing's solid, man. Very, very solid. I feel like I could throw this off a building and it would still work. Like, no joke. That's pretty cool. So let's set this over here. See what else is in the box. We've got rope ratchets, plastic gear, I imagine. Wow, these are actually some weird rope ratchets. I've never even seen this before. And I've seen a lot of rope ratchets. You guys know I'm kind of like a rope ratchet connoisseur. I've never seen these before. These are a brand new... You can't even see the... You can't even really see if it's metal or plastic gear, because it's completely closed off. Yeah, I've never seen that before. Maybe some of you guys have, but I've seen a lot of rope ratchets, and I've never seen this, quite this exact design. It is plastic in there, I can see it, just barely. So yeah, pretty cool. Hanging kit, pretty standard. Looks like it's going to be sufficient to hold the weight. It isn't the regular little skinny, ultra thin wire, although it is fairly thin. Yeah, that should be fine. A little bit long. It's going to have a pretty long hanging height, I think. I might shorten some of that up. We'll see. It's the nice thing is with these hanging kits, it's usually, I mean, it comes with a carabiner. These things here, you can usually mess around with it and figure out a way to use it the way you want. And it's not always the way they intended. But yeah, pretty sweet, man. This thing's going to be badass if it performs. So let's go ahead and get it hooked up, and we'll see how she performs. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back. Got this all hooked up. I was so mesmerized by the one rope ratchet that they gave us, I wasn't noticing that they only gave us one rope ratchet. Wow. Okay, so how they would have you hang it, it would just be by one, and then it would like spin, or you'd have to try and control it by the power cord and make it not spin, which is a real pain in the ass. So I would advise, if you get this light, grab another rope ratchet for it, another set basically, because they don't sell them as singles, I don't believe, and just do it that way. I've got it rigged up here, just going over like that. Saves a lot of height, and it's more stable. It does move floppy this side to side though, because there's nothing holding it back there, but you could put like a clamp there or something. There's all kinds of different ways you could hook this up, but I've got this hooked up at 21.5 inches, as you can see there, because my meter is 5.5 inches. So this is going to be a 16-inch canopy as usual, but my meter is 5.5 inches tall, so I am compensating for that. So let's put it right in the middle here. We'll take a reading. Now that is at minimum the lowest that we can go on the driver. It's pushing 13 watts, looking at 70 par in the middle. And then the spectrum looks pretty damn close to what they had in the manual. Let's grab the manual and take a look. Alright, so here's the manual. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So we're pretty much a match on the advertised spectrum. That's good. And so let's turn this up a little bit, because that's enough. 70 par. That's not really even enough for seedlings. So let's go up to like 20%. Wow, this dimmer's really sensitive. We'll hit it again. 113. Looking at like 20 watts. You could do seedlings under that. You could start them under there. I would probably advise going just a little bit higher. I'm going to try 25% as a seedling rate. So right there, 25%. We're going to try that. There we go. 152. That's about right to do seedlings and clones. So there we go. 25% for those of you getting this light. At 16 inches off the canopy. That's what you're looking at. Now let's try and find the veg. Let's see. So we're probably going to be, I'd say maybe around 50%. Let's bring it up to 50. We'll see. Look at that. About perfect. 340. 340. I like to be around 350 to 400. So we can actually turn it up just a little bit more. Say like 55% maybe. I'm going to try 55. There we go. So 55% at 16 inches is what you're looking at for veg. Now, let's see what this thing can do. We're at 55% right now, so that's pretty promising if this thing's actually going to go all the way to 100% and produce equal power all the way to 100. Let's try 75% first. There we go, 75%. We'll see where we're at. $486. So we're almost to flower. Almost. Anything 500 and up is going to be the base, I would say, for flower. That's where you would want to not go below is 500. And then you want to go up to about 1,000. Is about as high as you want to go without CO2. So let's crank this thing as far as it'll go. It's all the way past 100. Like, it's cranked as far as it'll go. So let's see what happens. Wow, 704. Nice. That is respectable. That is right in the middle of that range that I just talked about, for being the low range being 500 for flower, and then the upper range being 1,000. This is right in the middle of that wheelhouse. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. You can see there's a couple of UV diodes in there. Pretty good output though. What are we pushing? 145 watts? That's some pretty good output, I gotta say. Let's go over to the side here. Now keep in mind, this tent isn't a true 2x2. It is a 27 by 27. So let's man, I can't do this with this hand. Let me switch hands here. This tent's so small, I'm fucking cramped in here trying to get this. Alright. There we are, 404. 404 at the edge there, without turning it in, and it's up against the black there, which is not going to be reflective at all. So let's turn it in a little bit. There we go. 484. So almost 500 at the edge there. Not bad. Could be a little bit better. It's more of a, I would say, a true 2x2 light. But it would work in this tent. 492 on the closest edge. So yeah, it's about roughly 500, which is your minimum, on the edge of this 27 by 27 tent. In a 24 by 24, this would be right on point. It would not fall below flower levels in a 24 by 24. But since this is 27 by 27, you need a little bit of extra power. This is impressive. This is honestly impressive. And I know some people out there are going to call me a shill, because every time I get excited about something, they think it's because I'm being paid. It's not. Like, I test enough of these lights, it literally, I get bored with it. And when I see something that's exciting, I get excited. So that's just how it is. I'm sorry if I sound like a shill, but when I come across something like this, that is 150 watts, it's less than 150 bucks, and it will literally flower a 2x2 tent, veg through flower for $150. That's a pretty damn good deal. And it's got a dimmer, and the whole thing's made of metal, and it's very waterproof. So, like, I'm really quite impressed with this light. Overall, the output is good. The metal is good. I think the thermals are going to be great, I think, on it. And yeah, man, I don't know what else to tell you on this one. Let's take a corner reading over here, just for shits and giggles. I know the corners are going to be fairly low. Oh well, not as low as I thought. 482. Huh. Not bad. How about if I give it no help? No help at all. Straight up. 326. Oh wait, it's still measuring. Shit. Stop. Sometimes it goes into like multi-mode instead of single. There we go, single reading. There it goes. 325 with no help. So that's really not bad, and especially if you've got a 24 by 24, this thing is going to rock it. This thing is going to rock it. I imagine it may veg a 3x3. It could come damn close, because I mean this is 27 by 27. I'm pretty sure this would veg a 3x3. So if you're looking for a 3x3 veg light, or a 2x2 or 2x2.5 or 2x2 or 2.5 by 2.5 flower light, I really think this would be a good option. For less than 150 bucks, it's got a lot of metal. It's made pretty well. As long as the parts hold out, the driver and everything, I think you're in business really with this one. It's looking pretty decent. Pretty decent. So yeah, let's go ahead and let this warm up for a while, and we'll hit it with the heat gun, and we'll see what if there's any hot spots or anything. It's gonna let us know. And man, hopefully the thermals are good on this thing, because everything else has been really good. They've done a pretty good job with this light. So yeah, let's let it warm up and I'll be back. Alright, so after I quit filming, I realized that I forgot to turn on my camera up here for the wattage, so you guys didn't get to see any of the wattage readings at all, which sucks, but we can just do it live right now. This is the minimum here. Looking at 12.8, quite a bit of glare there, to 13. And then we took it up to 25%. Right there. And that's going to bring us to 27.3. And then we hit 55% for veg. Right there. That's 69.3. And then the next mark we hit was 75%, which wasn't quite enough for flour. .3, and then I just blew it all the way open as far as it'll go, blast it open, and that is pushing 143. So there is the wattage on that. Sorry about the lack of duality there, but got it taken care of. Alright, we are back, and this thing has had time to warm up, so let's bust out the thermal imaging camera and take a look here. This thing is so cool. So the red floating point is the hottest point on the screen, 134, 135 degrees. The white is where I'm aiming, and the green is the lowest point on the screen. So the top here where I'm aiming is 122 above the driver. And then the very edge gets really cool, actually. 120, 118. Not bad at all. Of course, it's got the hot spot in the middle of the board here. Is going to be the hottest point, especially since the driver is mounted onto the board. So there is going to be quite a hot spot in the middle of this thing, as you can see. But overall, as it goes outwardly, it really cools off fast. And 130, 135 is 135 is maybe a little bit high. I usually see like 131, 132. So 135 maybe a little bit high in the middle. But the outsides more than make up for it, being 117, 118. It's definitely, you can see it's definitely dissipating the heat through the metal fairly well. And if you put a fan on this, it's going to work even better. So, I don't know. It's a pretty decent result. I figured it would be pretty good, since it is a lot of metal. And it looks like the dimmer is about 100 degrees right now. And that part's plastic. Let me look at the base of the tent here. 89 degrees in the hottest point in the base of the tent. So yeah, pretty cool. Seems to be a pretty decent unit overall. If you've got a 2x2 tent, I would definitely advise picking this sucker up. It's a good price, it's good output, it's got a dimmer, it's got a decent spectrum to it, has UV, it's heavy, lots of metal. It'll be easy to cool if you just put a fan on it. It's pretty slick, man. I really like this one. So click the link below if you want to check it out for yourself. But I think that's pretty much it. We've pretty much gone over everything, and hopefully you guys like the review. And until next time, happy growing.